was issued, same time, same ink, same pen. They crossed out the word ordained because they said this is not ordination. I am thrilled for women teachers. And I am thrilled when women get involved in Bible studies and evangelism. And if you've come here for any length of time, you know, we had Junie Lawson was a Bible worker here. I would ask her to teach my class. I don't remember. She may have preached too. We've had women preach here. You see, we're not talking about that. They're doing it under the authority of the pastor. They're not usurping that authority. I am responsible as the priest leader in my family for worship. But don't you think I delegate that to Karen an awful lot? I'm traveling. I say, dear, I've got to go to work. I'm leaving early. Kids aren't up yet. Can you have worship with them today? She's not taking my role. You understand? There's a difference there. So we're not speaking against women using their gifts. And I was tempted to go through all the places in the Bible where God uses women. And I thought, you know, it's almost condescending and patronizing. Of course, in every other way. But there's a place where God has drawn a line. Matter of fact, this would be, if anything, if you're going to draw a line anywhere, if you're making any distinction where Paul makes all these statements about the role of women in the family and in the church, you would at the very least need to draw the line here that women should not be ordained as pastors or elders. Elders were basically the same thing. You do not have any example in the Bible of women serving as apostles. Why did Jesus choose 12 apostles, men only? Well, he was conforming to the customs of the day. It would interrupt the work if he had chosen any women. Nonsense. Jesus died because he would not conform. And when Judas was hung himself, and they needed to replace him, there was an upper room filled with men and women. They chose 2 men to pick from. That would never fly today. They would say, you know, to be politically correct, we need to have at least a woman and a man to pick from. Right? Or you'd be accused of being sexist and discrimination. All through the Bible, all the priests were men. You'll find no examples. You know, can women be prophets? Can men be prophets? Amram and Jochebed had 3 children, very unusual. All 3 children were prophets. What were their names? Miriam, Aaron, Moses, in order of their births, by the way. How many of those children were prophets? All 3. How many were priests? Just the boys. And I don't know, perhaps you remember the story in the Bible where Miriam and Aaron came to challenge Moses and what he was doing. And God stood up for Moses against his brother and his sister. And you know who was punished the most severely? Not Aaron. Miriam received leprosy. Moses prayed for her and it went away after a week because she was overstepping, telling her 2 priest brothers. She was probably instrumental. By the way, they were angry because he had married an Ethiopian woman, and Miriam maybe because she had once been prophetess. Now Moses listening to his wife. I can just picture how that all unfolded. So she must have been kind of the ringleader in that argument. But there's a distinction made from cover to cover in the Bible. But how do you live with that today? Oh, by the way, you know, I didn't want to rush away from, I was talking about Ellen White. Let me read a quote from Ellen White. This is from Testimonies, Volume 5, page 60. The primary object of our college was to afford young men an opportunity to study for the ministry and to prepare young persons of both sexes to become workers in the various branches of the cause. That's what you call slam dunk. She just was perfectly clear. Young men prepare for the ministry, young persons of both sexes for the various branches of the cause. There's all kinds of things, but she was really clear as a woman. She understood these things. I think that's pretty strong. You know, and you've got a lot of examples in the Bible of people who said, what difference does it say? If God says it's just supposed to be the Levites, you have to be from the tribe of Aaron or the tribe of Levi to officiate, isn't that discriminating? Well, it is a discrimination. God was making a discrimination. There was a reason for it. He had chosen the sons of Aaron to be the priests, the Levites to be the ministers, and along comes King Uzziah. And he says, I'm the king. All the pagan cultures, the king could also offer sacrifice. And so he thought, the other